Absolutely. As Gallegation blows his nose, this is going to be game number 2. So far, 440 Gaming is up 1-0 against Root Seed. We do have some cool bits to tell you here as we get into the next game. The league this season is sponsored by MythLogic. We do suggest that you take a second to go out to Twitter and Facebook and look them up, follow their pages, like their pages. They are a system builder, build some pretty cool rigs that will compete with the best gaming systems out there. They're a local company to us. If you don't know, Gallegation and I are in Michigan. Cool guys, we know them quite well, worked with them before, so we're happy to have them sponsoring the league. Also, if you go out to Twitter, follow at SC2CTL to stay up to date with the happenings and goings on of the league. And also, as long as you're there, follow at Wing.SC and at Gallegation. We are your casters. We were here throughout the entire first season of SC2CTL. We are stuck with you, or you are stuck with us, as it may be, for Season 2. Lots of cool things coming up.
Absolutely. Stay tuned for all that goodness, and let's introduce these players. What do you think about that?
I like that plan.
All right. Well, unfortunately, we do not have the bio for 440 Gaming. It is Zode is their player, and he is a Protoss player. That's all the information I have on him for you. But from Seed, we have Hewa. Hewa is a 16-year-old, and he hails from Boston. He started playing about a year after the release of Wings of Liberty. He was introduced to the game by his brother, who played a whole lot, and he started as a Protoss player, but switched to Terran after about 2 months of playing. And let's see, his favorite matchup is TVP.
Cool. I do believe that Zodex44 in chat is Zode from 440, as he's made some comments that.
Yes.
So if you would like to post a profile of yourself in the chat, everyone I'm sure would like to get to know you as well. We weren't provided that ahead of time. No big deal. So if you do have a second, let people know a little bit of history of your StarCraft 2, but we're happy to see you in chat. Also, it's pretty cool. I've been reminded that we want to promote the fact that Red Bull is coming to Michigan, which is local to us. Red Bull Battlegrounds coming later this year. Going to be pretty awesome. Hopefully we will be there, so if you're in the area, do stop by. And I think we are ready to go. Protoss did win, yes. Thanks for paying attention, our fearless leader.
So Zode is posting in the chat that he is a 28-year-old and he hails from Canada. He has corrected me that he's actually a Zerg player. I had the wrong information written down in my spreadsheet, so I apologize for that. But thank you for the correction, and hope that apologies I received in good spirits.
All right, with that, I think we're ready to jump on into game number 2. Is going to be on King Sejong Station, 440 Zode versus Root Seed's Hewa, and here we go. In the upper left-hand corner of our map, it is wearing the purple carapace representing the Zerg race, and 440 Gaming, it is Zode.
And in the bottom right-hand corner, representing Team Seed in the Terran trunks, it is Hewa.
TVZ, first one of the day. We definitely a match that we enjoy seeing. There are some pretty standard things we see. I like to see the Hellions doing some harassment early, and also a lot of the things that Zerg can do. Cool potential. This map is also pretty awesome. I do like the fact that it has this set of rocks on the back, as well as the fairly large ramp on the front. A lot of people would say they don't like that, but I'm Protoss, so I like to not be walled out of people's bases.
Yeah, but you also like to wall in as a Protoss.
Yeah, I definitely like what Bones had going on last game. He got the scout out to see what his Zerg opponent was doing and said, oh, cool, I have time to wall in this giant ramp, but you don't always have that luxury.
That's true. That is true indeed. So Zode's sending out his Overlord to get some peaks. That's going a little slowly for him, so he's also sending out a drone. In the meantime, Hewa is fixing up that good old ramp.
Players having a little chat with each other in game. Always nice to be friendly with your opponents. Looks like Hewa, as you said, is walling in that ramp. The drone scout of Zode working its way there. It is a zigzaggy path all the way over.
Absolutely.
Actually, it looks like he's taking a little bit of a custom path there, because I don't think it takes that long to get. Oh, it does, because the back ramp is blocked off with those rocks.
Yep.
But this barracks might not finish in time. Looks like he is going to get that drone in to check on the gas situation, which he will find one, so we will probably see some Reapers on the field. Definitely a good utilitous unit to do some scouting of Zerg early. Hatchery coming down at the natural for Zod as well.
Absolutely, but the spawning pool is also down, but no gas yet, so he could be holding off. The gas goes down right there, so it still could be anything out of him.
While we're watching the beginning of this game, we do suggest that you go out to Twitter and do us a favor, show your support for the sponsorship that we've been provided for this league. Send out a tweet to @MythLogic, include @Gallegation and @WingnetSC, and let MythLogic know how awesome they are for sponsoring this league. They're providing all the prize money for the winners and even helping us out with getting the cool stream prizes that are to come. We'll be giving away them starting out at the end of this week. More info will come. Troy's still working out the details on programming the website, so look forward to that. But they certainly do appreciate that, and we do as well.
Absolutely. Reaper coming in now for Haywa, moving straight into the main base. Going to be able to see that spawning pool, going to be able to see that gas. Choosing to go on the far side, starting hitting the mineral workers, and Zod was able to get that Spore Crawler down. Zerglings are on the map, and they are going to chase that Reaper so long as they are on creep. And now they should back up if they don't want to get killed, and sure enough, there they go.
Oh, but that does lose one Zergling, so... Oh, lose 2 Zerglings to this Reaper, so the Reaper's definitely being cost-effective in the fact that killed 2 Zerglings as well as getting all the scouting information. Zerglings do not chase down Reapers all that well off creep, as you know. 3rd Zergling goes down. Reapers continuing to press on up to the issue, taking some damage on that Queen. The Reaper's still staying near full health, so doing a good job controlling is Haywa.
That's right. Zod has his spawning pool researching the metabolic boost. It's about halfway done, but it's not going to save him from those Reapers just yet. And Haywa is taking a brief break to get some snacks in that one Reaper that's hurting. 3rd Reaper joining the party now, and they might be just about ready to head in as the health is going back on up.
Reactor now finishing up for Haywa as well. Looks like it's probably going to be switching with that factory to get some Hellions out. Pretty standard fare here as some drones are taking some pretty heavy damage. One Reaper does go down to a Zergling, but still good control out of those, jumping up the cliff to get away and off that creep so he can let those survive a little bit longer. It looks like the factory did swap onto that reactor. Hellions are coming out on the field as well as more SCVs and more SCVs, and speed just finished. So Zod now going to take advantage of that speed as he has a decent number of Zerglings, going to move them out. He can see with his Overlord that the expansion of Haywa is not yet very well protected. Bunker is just about to finish up. 2 Reapers there ready to jump in the bunker. Hellions coming out now. So just in time, Haywa does have the resources he needs to fend off this little Zergling push.
That's right. 3rd base going down now, and the Zerglings kind of going towards the back of the base, trying to hide out a little bit. While they wait up for reinforcements, it seems.
Stim starting to come down now, as well as a lot of Marines continuing to be produced. Still just Zerglings and hatcheries out of Zod, continuing to macro up.
There is an Overlord for Zod right kind of in the perfect position to get an eye on that bunker to see kind of what's going on in the natural. And another one's coming up onto the main base to see the top of the ramp wall as well, see what the factories and the barracks are up to.
Pretty well defended so far. More gas going down for Zod. Looks like he's going to be probably transitioning into later game things here fairly soon. Still no layer, but as the 8-minute mark approaches, we do expect that will be coming down soon. Double evolution chamber coming down at the ramp with double creep queens spreading that creep around. This is a very large map, so it does take a long time to get that creep going. And Haywa honestly hasn't had his Reapers and Hellions out at the front of the base of Zod to keep that creep controlled, which is definitely something we see happen a lot, which does impact the Zerg player quite a bit.
Absolutely, but with 2 Queens there, they can do a decent amount to those Hellions. The one taking some damage, gonna try and rally up with one of the other ones, Zerglings at the top of the ramp, trying to protect the drones as they're heading towards that 3rd.
Starport now coming down for Haywa. We've definitely seen a lot of Banshee play lately, I would say. But he is putting it on the reactor, so we'll definitely be seeing some medevacs. Banshee is definitely a good pokey tool here that the Terrans have been using, but Zod is pretty well set up here, but he is not. Haywa's not using his forces here to keep this creep back too much, but he did push those queens back a bit, and Zod has not continued to push out his creep, even though he is free to at the moment. We'll see what he does to continue that. Layer is coming down as well. A lot more drones and +1/+1.
Haywa now moving in to take care of some of those rather creep tumors, and Zerglings just eating the fire from those Hellions, and they are getting burned to a crisp. Baneling Nest is down, about 25% of the way done.
Those Baneling's going to be pretty good, as he is trying to continue spreading that creep around on the backside of his third base. Doing quite a bit of good mining here, almost 2,000 mineral income, so definitely getting a lot more done in the mining department than his opponent. He does have an extra base. As he continues to fill it out with drones, he will continue to rocket up here. But one interesting thing is here that at the base of Haywa, there is no gas at the natural expansion, so it's going to be a little bit mineral heavier army. Oh, lots of hits on those Zerglings from those Hellions.
And Zerglings trying to get the surrounds in, but there's just too many Hellions. So many Zerglings go down. They are able to claim the lives of a couple Hellions, but there's just not a lot left here to defend. The Zerglings are falling in number. There's only 8 remaining, and the Queens are coming in now, and there's the end of the game.
The anti-GG.
Yep. Things did not fall into place for him, just wasn't able to get the right composition of units, and Haywa was able to move in and take the win.
Yeah, Zod, I feel like he had a, well, I always go first. Your turn to go first. What did you think about that game, Gallegation? I don't want to steal any thunder from you.
It appeared that Zod was, trying to get a macro game going, trying to delay into kind of the mid-game, and had some eyes on his opponent, but Haywa was able to kind of get rolling a little bit into his build a little quicker than Zod was expecting him to do so. So he didn't really have the units to be able to defend when that push came in, especially because Haywa was kind of not being as aggressive, not giving Zod rather as much of an opportunity to see what was going on. So everything was a big surprise party when it hit the door, and the Zerglings just weren't enough to cut it. Yeah,
you definitely mentioned the lack of aggression, which is sort of anti-normal in TVZ from what we've seen. Those Hellions and Reapers. Reapers definitely super useful early in the game, but Hellions and Reapers not as active as sometimes we've seen, and not as much activity from the Zerg as I would have normally seen also, but that's what we've seen so far, and maybe that will be continue to be the theme of this match. As in the first game, it was pretty anti-aggression. Second game, it was just kind of push in and win. But he definitely had the right army, though. Lots of Zerglings. I didn't even really see any Banelings out of Zod there.
No.
So Hellions and Marines will take care of those Zerglings pretty quick. But it was a good game, too. So good luck to those players continuing on in the league, as we are going to be taking a break here real quick before we go on into game number 3. Our score is tied 1-1 going into game number 3. So stick with us real quick as we take a break, and we'll be right back.